What was your reaction to the NBA's decision to deny the protest?
I read through it, and I guess I really don't have a comment on it.
Yeah.
But I guess what I will say is that this situation and set of circumstances will improve the game long term. And that's a good thing.
Rick, can I get your thoughts on Mark? He said that he was going to match the $500,000 fine by finding another person who doesn't have medical insurance that needs a heart transplant. He did that before previously with a different fine.
That's wonderful. It's great to hear. It's great to hear.
Rick, what does this two-game stretch with Zion on the other side the other night and Ja tonight with Luka, just the youth of this league, and specifically the conference, what kind of display does this help show for the NBA, I guess, going forward?
Well, it's 3 young stars that all are a big part of the present and future. From a coaching perspective, we're looking at this as, these are important games to try to win. Nothing easy about any of this from a winning-losing standpoint. The other night was a great example of that. Coming in off of a back-to-back, New Orleans played with every bit of energy as if they'd been rested for 2 days. So it's that time of year where people are really going hard. Memphis is a highly motivated team. One of the things I really like and respect about Morant is that he appears to me to be a great young leader. He's very selfless on the floor. He leads his teammates in the right way. And after that tough stretch they had after the break, they've bounced back with 3 really good wins. And so, they're without a couple of key guys. We're without a couple of our key guys, so and it's important game to both teams. But I understand the question about the young star players. The guys are fun to watch.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on Taylor Jenkins in his first year as a head coach, what you kind of knew about him the last couple of years as he was coming up and making a name for himself.
I knew of him from being on Mike Budenholzer's staff. I did not know him personally. I know he's from Dallas, went to St. Mark's. And he's done a phenomenal job there. Really just with everything that they've done, from how they've organized their program to, organizing which guys are going to play in the G League, which guys are going to play on the NBA team. And then developing a system. They've implemented, something very similar to Milwaukee's, but with adjustments for their personnel. And they've improved defensively as the season has gone on. So that's a great coaching job.
Are we seeing the best version of Kristaps Porzingis right now?
He's 24, and he's working extremely hard. I believe that every 24-year-old player that has his kind of ability and skill and work ethic is going to continue to get better. But every ounce that he put into that game and against New Orleans the other night, we're gonna need that tonight against these guys, because these guys are a competitive group. It's pretty clear that they're together as a team, and making the playoffs is something that's important to them.
Along those lines, excuse me, I liked the start of Eddie's question. Are we seeing the best version of Seth Curry?
He's playing great. I mean, he's shooting the ball phenomenally well. I always want to be optimistic and think the guys can keep improving. I know Seth's 29, but 29 is still young to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he's always been a great shooter. I mean, that's been consistent since he was a depth player on 2 or 3 teams early in his career. He has a breakthrough year with us in 17, which was great. But his continued evolving in the game is going to come with reads, being in different playmaking positions, and then having to guard more and more difficult guys. With Hardaway out tonight, he'll have a hard matchup at the beginning of the game and throughout.
You mentioned the growth that you've seen from Memphis. Are there any areas that jump out at film more recently that you didn't see from them maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago that might present you guys a different challenge to game plan for tonight?
Well, they really just have made steady improvements in all areas. Right now, as a team, they're shooting the 3 extremely well. In the last 5 games, really the trends and the actual stats are that everybody that's in their rotation, with the exception of maybe one guy, is shooting 37 or 38 or higher. A lot of them are in the 40s. So, when you have that kind of 3-point shooting to go along with Morant's penetration and Valanciunas' post-up game, it creates a real balance. And that's why they're hard to play.
For years, you can talk about positionless basketball. Why is that important in your system, specifically guys being able to play multiple positions down the road?
It allows the game to flow quicker and better. When you're not having to come down and slow down and make sure you get to a spot that's across the floor, and then start to play, the game flows much better. And if you're playing 5 out, which most teams are now, it just opens up the space sooner. And a lot of the best driving opportunities you get are early in the clock. And so, if you got a situation where guys are allowed to go to any one of 5 spots on the floor and get there as quickly as possible, the game's going to flow better. You're going to have better chances to attack. And, in my view, you're going to have guys that are reacting instead of thinking, and that's what you want.
Hey there, NBA fans. For exclusive NBA content, subscribe to Fanatics View YouTube down below.